The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of KSMQ Public Service Media Incorporated or its assigns.
On today's Farm Connections, we go behind the scenes to see what happens at the Minnesota State FFA Convention. Thousands of FFA members in blue jackets descend upon the city, learning about ag, careers, leadership, making new friends. It's great fun. Join us at the Minnesota State FFA Convention.
Welcome to Farm Connections with your host, Dan Hoffman.
Farm Connections on KSMQ, sponsored in part by the Cedars of Austin, a senior living community. We even have a retired farmers club. Independent, assisted, and memory care apartments. Learn more at cedarsofaustin.com. Will Mahler, the ag attorney, has been representing dairy farms in Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin for 37 years. Will Mahler, the ag attorney's office is in Rochester, and Will is a proud partner of Farm Connections. Thanks, Will Mahler.
For the past 84 years, students and FFA chapters from all over the state of Minnesota have traveled to an annual event called the Minnesota State FFA Convention. FFA is a long-standing organization with the intent of helping students in our K-12 systems around the state of Minnesota to learn about leadership and careers and applying what they learn in the classroom. Perhaps at one time it was mostly about people tilling the soil and raising livestock. That's still very important in FFA. But you'll see as we talk to these young people, there's more to FFA than just growing crops and livestock. There's sales careers, there's parliamentary procedure, there's team building, there's leadership, there's speaking, and what a sharp group. You'll know at the end of the show why these are some of the finest people in the state of Minnesota representing agriculture and FFA.
At the 84th Minnesota State Convention, there are numerous things going. There's sessions, there are workshops, there are career development contests, there are SAE, which is a supervised agriculture experience, is going on. And there's just people meeting up with people they haven't probably seen in months, and it's just a great way to get all the FFA members from across the state together for a lot of fun.
I think it's great just for the fact of meeting people, making connections, and learning more about the state that you live in and the agriculture that you participate in.
Shauna, the Minnesota State FFA president. This has been a fantastic experience and a wonderful year, I'm sure. Tell us what's going on at the convention.
Lots, from workshops to sessions to career development events to just meeting with people we haven't seen in a very long time.
What are some of the highlights of this entire year of being FFA president?
Probably the biggest one being growing with a team of 6 individuals. We are all very different, and some of us came in as friends and we're leaving as family. And it's not just within our team, but within all the FFA members across Minnesota. And throughout the entire year, not only growing with my team, but growing with and meeting new FFA members from across the state was definitely the highlight. And something else that I've definitely enjoyed is meeting with business industry professionals in the agricultural field that support the Minnesota FFA and strengthening those partnerships and making sure that we're going to continue to be a strong organization even after our team has to hang up the jackets.
I'm hearing so many different levels in the FFA. Is that true? There's something for everybody?
Definitely. I didn't grow up on a farm. I grew up living in town, so when I heard about an agricultural organization, I had no interest. And my advisor to get me to join just said it's a lot of fun and you get out of school. So that's why I joined. And my first field trip actually required more work than my homework at school, but I actually enjoyed it. And my advisor encouraged me to keep going, and I found prepared public speaking. Began with that, and you have to share an agricultural topic. And I just wanted to grow and learn how to speak in front of people because I wasn't good at it. And once I started researching agriculture and learning about it, I developed a passion for it that I never would have even thought I would have had before my 7th grade year when I began FFA. So definitely FFA has something different for everyone. There's the chapter level, the regional level, the state level, and even the national level.
What's your greatest accomplishment as president?
Greatest accomplishment? Wow, that's a hard one. I don't like to think that I have too many big accomplishments because I like to make sure that the members get their recognition because it's them that do it, not me. I do my job as president and make sure things are getting done and we're working cohesively as a team and communication is good throughout the state of Minnesota. But really what it comes down to is the 9,833 members that do continuously participating in career development events year after year and growing themselves. That's really where the success and the accomplishments come from. And I get to be a part of one of those 9,833, and that's pretty cool.
Well, you've done a great job. Everybody seems so impressed with your work in that presidency. Can you tell us the name of your town and a little bit about the home chapter?
Definitely. I came from Goodhue, Minnesota, Goodhue FFA chapter. My advisor, Mr. Lee Thompson, he's been the ag advisor at Goodhue for many years, and he's been through hardships and he's been through successes, and he's always willing to take time with his students. And so because of that, we have a strong FFA chapter and students that are encouraged to participate above the chapter level and have been continuously bringing teams to state year after year for many years. It all comes down to having an advisor that really cares about his students, and Goodhue definitely has one of them.
What's your words of wisdom to a freshman that's thinking about ag and FFA?
Do it. I didn't think agriculture was something that was even in my ballpark, and it's bigger than that. Everybody eats, everybody wears clothes. You don't have to farm, you don't have to be in the production side to care about agriculture and to play a part in it. I would just encourage any FFA member, 9th grader, deciding to be an FFA, embrace opposition. Embrace opposition, learn to work together, learn about others, care, and you will go far.
Well, you certainly have, and thank you so much for your leadership. Good luck on going forward.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, Shauna.
Thank you.
Just because you don't know a lot about agriculture, it doesn't mean you can't get involved in FFA. I didn't even think I would like it all that much, but I just love everything that it's taught me and everything that it's offered.
FFA is accepting of anyone, no matter what your background is or who you are as an individual, and we really want to strive on bringing you in and teaching you about agriculture so that you can be more educated about it and knowledgeable about where your food comes from. And hopefully at the end of the day, we can build you up as an individual as well and truly give you an impact that will make a difference on your life.
Through FFA, I've just been able to open up and, just realize that I am who I am and I can accept that and just be more outgoing. And I thank FFA so much for doing that for me.
You grow when you go to FFA events, whether you realize it or not. You're learning new skills, you're meeting new people, and you're just radiating yourself to the world, and people realize that, this kid is really learning something. Where did you learn it from? And I say, I learned it all, and I owe it all to the FFA.
Well, the Minnesota State FFA Convention has lots of great people, but I was able to single out two very special ones. On my left is Jenna, and on my far left is Alicia. What other things are happening here? Any contests or events happening that you want to tell us about?
Well, all year we compete in CDEs and...
What's a CDE?
Career Development Event. So it's contests, and if you make it in your region, then you get to go to state and participate and compete and try to win.
What's an example of a CDE?
Some common ones, dairy foods, where they try different cheeses and milks to test for problems in it or kind of cheeses. There's some speaking ones, extemporaneous speaking, prepared public speaking, floriculture.
Yeah.
There's a wide range.
Yeah.
And so in these career development experiences, would parliamentary procedure be included?
Yep. Yes.
What's great about learning parliamentary procedure, Jenna?
It keeps things rolling through a meeting. It makes things really organized and professional. And we do it at all of our chapter meetings as officers, and it really helps move things along and keep things organized.
And you also spoke earlier about proficiency awards. Are you competing in that area?
Yep, I had 2 proficiency awards, equine science for both of them, a placement and a entrepreneurship. That both, well, the placement placed here at state, and then the entrepreneurship placed at the region level.
Tell us about your award application.
I started out training my own horses at my house, and then I started giving lessons to a boy who has autism. And then it landed me a job as a therapeutic riding instructor at a center, so I work with all different ranges of disabilities. being an instructor.
Will you take that experience beyond FFA at some point?
Definitely, definitely.
What's been the most special thing about the FFA convention?
Just seeing all the people. It's nice weather and just seeing everybody together. I mean, we don't get to meet with all the chapters like we do here. Catch up with people.
Alicia, your proficiency award.
I have 2 as well. The first one, probably my higher achieving one, is emerging egg technology area, in which I grew lettuce hydroponically in our school greenhouse, and I tested experiments testing pH, EC, and chlorophyll. And that landed me a first place proficiency this year at state, and I am a state Agri Science finalist tonight.
And the highlight of the convention for you?
The atmosphere again, like, it's just, it brings everyone together. Like, you see everyone in these navy jackets, and it's like they're all a team. It's not really like, oh, they're from a different school. It's like we're all together. We're all here. We represent Minnesota FFA.
And you do it well. Jenna, a freshman approaches you and says, why should I join FFA? What would be your answer?
You gain a lot. I would say leadership and just becoming yourself, being strong in who you are, and it's agriculture related, so if you have any interest in that, it's definitely a place you want to be.
Great answer. Alicia?
My advice would be to get involved, because there's so much to offer, and it's so rewarding after it's all done. You know, as a senior, you get scholarships, or it looks really good on a resume. Like, colleges see FFA and they're like, wow, they've learned a lot from this program.
Jenna, can you think of some examples of friends that have excelled in FFA and what they got out of the experience?
Last year we had a huge group of graduating seniors that we both grew really close to, and I think there's at least half of them are going into agricultural related fields, you could say, and are taking the leadership that they learned from FFA into all parts of the world.
Alicia, what would be the worst thing that would happen if FFA went away and ceased to exist?
If FFA did, I think you'd get a lot less people interested in the egg industry, and the egg industry is everything. Like, every time we eat, like, it comes from the egg industry, farms, plants, it's all there, so we really couldn't eat anymore.
That sounds severe.
It is.
Jenna, what do you think if FFA ceased to exist?
It's a big organization for young people, and especially people in the agricultural industry or who are maybe on the fence, and it teaches the community about agriculture, and they don't see that every day, and so it's good to get the word out to people that matter, like your show.
Well, it's absolutely a delight. Enjoy the convention.
Yeah.
I wish you luck tonight as you receive your awards.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words, but of deeds. Achievements won by the present and past generations of agriculturists, in the promise of better days through better ways, even as the better things we now enjoy have come to us from the struggles of former years. I believe that to live and work on a good farm, or to be engaged in other agricultural pursuits, is pleasant as well as challenging. For I know the joys and discomforts of agricultural life and hold an inborn fondness for those associations, which even in hours of discouragement I cannot deny. I believe in leadership from ourselves and respect from others. I believe in my own ability to work efficiently and think clearly with such knowledge and skill as I can secure, and in the ability of progressive agriculturists to serve our own and the public interests in producing and marketing the product of our toil. I believe in less dependence on begging and more power in bargaining. In the life abundant and enough honest wealth to help make it so, for others as well as myself. In less need for charity and more of it when needed. In being happy myself and playing square with those whose happiness depends upon me. I believe that American agriculture can and will hold true to the best traditions of our national life, and that I can exert an influence in my home and community, which will stand solid for my part in that inspiring task.
Welcome to KSMQ Farm Connections at the Minnesota State FFA Convention. And with me are Gail and her daughter Abby. Gail, You probably remember some State FFA conventions from days gone by.
I certainly do. I remember being here in 86, I believe it was. The spring of 86, I was on the dairy judging team, and the three of us, Judd Hansen, myself, and Tom Foss, won the state dairy judging contest and proceeded to go to nationals.
Fantastic.
So, yes.
So do you share that enthusiasm getting to watching Abby come here also?
Definitely. Abby and I, we also have two sons that we enjoy watching and participating and encouraging along the way in FFA as well.
Awesome. Abby, this is really special. You get to come here with Mom, and I noticed that you got a special jacket on. Tell us about that.
This was my mom's FFA jacket when she was in high school, and I love to wear it every day, every time I get a chance to.
That's really special, and I appreciate you both coming here. Abby, what I want you to tell me about is what's been special about this convention in addition to being here with Mom?
It's special because it's like what I know, being in an agricultural, like knowing it my whole life, and being with my brothers, and being able to represent MNFFA as what I know.
What other things have you been involved here at the convention with?
I was a delegate here, so I got to like sit in on the sessions, and I got to vote when called upon, and got to have a meeting with Jerry Groschgeitz on KDHL, and got to look at the career fair, and last year I got to participate in Dairy Foods CDE.
CDE means what?
Career Development Event.
And this year, did you involve yourself with CDE at all?
Yes, I was on Dairy Foods and Floriculture, but we were very close in placing to make it to state, but we didn't. So.
Well, you still learned a lot.
Oh yes.
Do you have a role in your chapter as an officer?
I am a sentinel, which I keep the room comfortable and help the president maintain order if he can't or she can't be there and stuff. So.
Have you learned responsibility from FFA?
Oh yes, I've learned a lot of responsibility and about leadership and how to treat others.
That makes Mom proud. Can you tell us about some of the things that make you proud about Abby?
Oh, Abby's got a laundry list of things that make us proud about her. Abby's born with spina bifida, and she didn't have a very great outcome in life when she was born. So she has done a lot of really cool things. She plays wheelchair basketball. We were just out in Louisville, Kentucky at the National Basketball Tournament a week ago, so we've done some really cool things with that. And she participates in a team that takes place up in Golden Valley at Courage Center. She's also involved with FFA, which is a really cool thing, and it's one of the things that we try to do as a family. We have two boys as well, and Abby can't get out and show her animals. We have a sheep and dairy that we show as well. So my husband has modified her electric wheelchair so that she can show her sheep. It's on her electric wheelchair, it's on the right-hand side, and it's like a fitting stand headpiece that the sheep go into, and we train them so that they walk with her and that she's able to show them. And Abby's shown at the state fair, won showmanship contests, won reserve champion all breeds U last year in 4-H up there as well. In school, she also participates in like a yearbook, student council, SAD. You know, she's a very active and involved student, and also in 4-H. She does a lot of stuff with 4-H, the ambassadors and everything. So she's a real inspiration to me.
Now I get it about the long laundry list. Boy, that's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I can see why Mom is proud, and it's neat to see all those activities. Abby, what are your goals for next year?
My goal is to become a region officer possibly, and maybe a state officer in the future. So.
I was talking to one of your friends earlier, and they said, ask Abby about camp. Is there an FFA camp that you attended?
I attended SGLC, which is State Green Hand Leadership Conference in Hackensack, Minnesota at Deep Portage. It was a great opportunity. I learned a lot about leadership and myself and the person I want to be.
Awesome. What advice do you have to people beginning FFA?
It's never too late, and it's fun.
You're a great inspiration. Thank you for joining us today and sharing about your experience with FFA, Abby.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gail.
Thank you, Dan. That was excellent. Thank you.
blue jacket is very significant to me. Both of my jackets, one being my chapter jacket and one being my region jacket, they both have many stories inside of them. To me, the jackets represent all the good times you had inside that jacket, all the people you met, and all the goals you accomplished. I really just enjoy that every different person can have a different view on what the jacket means to them and how it impacts them.
I use this quite often, that this jacket symbolizes my passion. I was given it in 8th grade as a scholarship jacket from my chapter's alumni. And after filling out an application, I was awarded it because they felt that I would be able to show my pride for the FFA organization. I've had it tailored a few times because I've grown with it, but it shows who we are. Many people say corduroy is way out of fashion, but for me, it's still in fashion, and I proudly wear it wherever I go.
KSMQ Farm Connections on site at the Minnesota State FFA Convention. You know, we see all kinds of blue jackets around, but I have with us some guests that have some other interests in mind, agriculture, but doing something with FFA members once they graduate. Lisa on my left and Chuck on my far left. Lisa, tell me about your position.
Right now I'm a national PAS vice president for this current year, so it's an exciting time for me.
Wonderful. So how long have you had this office?
I just got elected in March, so it's fairly new and excited for the upcoming year.
And we're going to ask Chuck what PAS stands for.
PAS stands for Post-Secondary Agriculture Student Organization, and it's an organization for students in agriculture in 2- and 4-year schools. It gives them an opportunity to do some continued leadership skills, growth in career development events that they started in FFA, and keeps them going in that area.
Well, earlier you mentioned that employers are very interested in this organization. Why?
Well, you have to realize that if they're in a 2-year program, within 18 months, they're probably going to be employees. And so those employers like to come in and do our interview process, talk to us about what might be happening, see what our students are doing, because they probably are going to want to hire them pretty soon. If they're in a 4-year school, they'll do the same thing with the juniors and seniors, but a lot of times it's a 2-year school.
Lisa, what value have you received from the organization?
I have got a lot of networks that have been going on, met a lot of new people, which is great. I have grown tremendously in my career area. I've learned so many things from the career progress events that I've done, and so it's pretty much endless.
Well, thanks for sharing about that, but can you tell me why are you at the Minnesota State FFA Convention with all these blue jackets? You're not FFA right now, you're something else.
Yep, we want to reach out to future and potential members for PAS. We want to recruit them to these programs that are going to be helping them keep on the right track and pursuing a career that they enjoy in agriculture, and we want to retain them and keep them going in organizations in agriculture as well.
So if I understand you right, Lisa, they'll learn an FFA, get some skills and some competencies, and then you tap into that after they get out of FFA.
Exactly. We just want to build upon their career skills that they have already.
Good resume builder?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent. Now, Chuck, I helped you with some contests at Southwest Minnesota State University in Marshall this past year. Actually, I did it the year before as well. Such as a job interview contest. What other contests?
We have a whole array of contests. We have employment interview, but I think there are like a dozen areas of employment interview. So we have people come in from industry that interview individuals who are involved in agribusiness, in livestock, in crops, and so they can specialize and do the interviews in the area that they're specific to theirs. We have crops contests, we have livestock contests, horticulture, natural resources. We have a animal health contest for the vet tech people. We have a whole bunch of knowledge CDEs and a good number of those CDEs that are going to help them grow in those soft skills, those leadership skills that we're looking for.
Well, certainly the skills and the tasks needed to be in agriculture today are accelerated and even more than they ever have been in the past. What are employers looking for? First Lisa and then Chuck.
I would say, like Chuck had said, the soft skills, so your communication, being a team member in any organization is pretty key. Maybe just you're gonna have to know your industry as well. So going in there in the career field that you're going for and knowing what you're doing is important as well.
Thank you. Great answer. Chuck.
Well, the first thing they're looking for is passion in agriculture. If they're going to be working in an agribusiness or an agriculture industry, they're looking for passion in that area, and that's one of the first things they look for. If they've got that, they're looking for a work ethic, someone that's going to be there on time and be there when they're needed. They're looking for individuals who are willing to relocate if necessary to get the kind of job that they want, and those things will allow them to get jobs back in their home community later if they're willing to take that and make that move to an area so they can get the experience they need to get back to the job they really, really want.
Well, thank you for doing that and helping feed America. Appreciate it, Chuck. Thank you for being here. Lisa, thank you. Keep up the good work.
Oh, I will. Try.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Farm Connections as we traveled to St. Paul, Minnesota for the Minnesota State FFA Convention. We hope you enjoyed your time with us and will join us on the next Farm Connections.